Hello, welcome to another Informatica video tutorial. My name is Fernando Guerrero. I am a cloud solution specialist, and in this video I am going to talk about how to send all the output groups of a JSON file into one single output in CDI. Through this video, we are going to talk about the different available options that we have in order to do this. I am going to show you a demo about just one of those options, that is the one that I recommend, and at the end I will present some links to documentation. In CDI, using Hierarchy Parser, we have two ways to send all the output groups into just one single of them. The first one is you take each output group of your Hierarchy Parser, and each of them will be sent to a join transformation. You will have to join every single output group and then send the last final output to your target. This is time consuming. The probability that you make an error or mistake is higher, and if you have a lot of output groups, it's not really an option. It will take you a long time. So that's why I don't recommend this option. The second option also is using the Hierarchy Parser, and you have one option to denormalize your output data. This means that all the columns that are in all your different output groups will be placed into just one single output. This is very fast. The probability that you make a mistake is gonna be smaller. And if you want to modify and specify which column you want to send in the out and which column you don't want to, so it's gonna be easy. It's gonna save you a lot of time. So this is the option that we are going to focus on this demo and in this video. And we will proceed to show you the steps that you have to do in order to achieve this. Okay, now we are going to proceed to do the demo, how to send all the different output groups from your JSON document to one single output to your target file. So I have already a simple mapping. We have just a source, Hierarchy Parser, and target. So in order to process a JSON file, we need to have a schema. So we create a hierarchical schema. This hierarchical schema basically is going to read your JSON document with all the information, and by reading the information, it will know what schema is going to be used for future file processes. Okay, so you have to create a schema. That's the first thing that you will have to do, create your schema. So I already created one for this example. I am going to skip that step, but I just want to remind you that you need to create a schema. And you will use that schema in your hierarchy parser. But let's come here to the source. So typically you read your JSON from a flat file connection, and here in the object you specify the file that you want to load and the file that contains your data. Here you will have to do a little trick, because instead of specifying the file that you want to load, you will have to specify a file that contains the path to the file that has the actual data. So here you see I am selecting the file called path to source data .txt, and if we come to see this file doesn't have JSON information. This file has a path to the file that has the data that I want to process. So this is one trick that you have to remember. Okay, we are specifying the file that has the path to the file that we want to process. Later in the hierarchy parser, when you look into the incoming fields, you see only one incoming fields because you are just getting the path. You are not reading every single element into your JSON file. Here in your input settings, here you are going to use the schema that I told you that you need to create. Okay, you need that so the hierarchy parser knows how to read the JSON file. And here is the other trick. You see input type, we selected file. This is basically telling that the information that we are receiving from this step, it contains the path to the file that has the data. Okay, the information that we are getting from this step is not the data, it's just the path to the file that has the data. So we have to select this input type. Here, if you come to the here in the input field selection, you just have to mark the input field that comes from here, and you map it to this one. Then in the field mapping, here you will see, let me mark this right now. But here you are going to see all the elements that you have in your JSON file. It can be a very complex structure, but that's okay. Here you are going to imagine that you want to process all of them. Okay, so we mark all of them. So it's right now creating the relationship. So here, if you want to send the output of your hierarchy parser to the next step, you will notice that it's asking you to select, okay, which output group do you have to send? We have many output groups, and each output group has many attributes, many elements or many columns. So which one do you want? And one way to join all of those output groups into you single one is to send them to a join transformation. But just imagine, you will need to create a lot of joins. So that will be very, very time consuming. So instead of doing that, you come here. Remember, we are in the fields mapping section. You come here to the format, and you change for relational to the normalized. And now, when you want to select the output from your hierarchy parser to your target, you will see that you have only one. And if you come to the target, you will see that this one has all the different columns that you want. Everything in just one single output. So that's the trick that you have to use to send all the outputs into one single, all the group outputs into just one single output. If you want to know more about how hierarchy parser works and the limitations that it has, you can watch this video tutorial that we also have in YouTube. That's the link to that page. I highly recommend. It has valuable information. If you have any feedback, any suggestion that you would like to give us, feel free to send an email to our support videos address, or also in Twitter you can send us a message. Thank you very much for watching this video.